Hey everyone, this is Barry once again from Barry 3D from the iConis podcast. Right now, I'm still here over at Hero Tales for Creator Con, on the Saturday, and I'm sitting here really quick with Gail Simone. So, welcome to have you. Glad to be on and taking a couple of quick questions.
It is so fun to be here. This day has been great. The Hero Tales store is amazing, so if you live anywhere where you can get here, come. People are fun, all have the same interests of comics and pop culture.
Absolutely. So here's my first question for you. What brought you into writing for comic books? Like, what was the catalyst for you?
Well, I've been a fan since I was younger, starting with Wonder Woman and the Justice League.
Right.
And I think I live in a really small town. I was a hairdresser, and I was hanging out on message boards and in forums for comics because we didn't have a local comic book store. And people were asking questions about why don't more women read comics, and I started thinking about it and seeing kind of what the trends were going on at the time. Put up a website called Women in Refrigerators, which talked about the trope, or if it was a trend, that the female comics characters were being depowered, killed, chopped up and stuffed in refrigerators, just to further the male protagonist story along, never to be talked about again. So started having that going on online. That caught some attention, and then I had a humor column as well, which caught attention in the industry because it was a parody column of pop culture and comics and things like that. And that eventually led to being asked to write Simpsons comics for Bongo Comics, and then Deadpool.
Right.
So basically humor-based work. And it was just a great time. And then eventually I went to DC and wrote Birds of Prey and did that for quite a few years.
Wow. Okay, so you're saying humor. So do you watch a lot of stand-up comedy at times? Or?
I do. I'm a huge fan of stand-up comedy and comedy films and comedy podcasts.
So who's your go-to for a stand-up comedy? Just roughly. I'm not saying, past, present, Who's your person you got to stop? Oh, they have a special on. I'll watch it again.
Hey, Patton Oswalt, Paul F. Tompkins, Maria Bamford.
Perfect. Awesome. And also now, when it comes to writing in comics, my other question is, I know, who would you see as a character that hasn't got a bigger spotlight on them that maybe you would like to write to bring them to a bigger spotlight, to a wider audience?
Well, that's kind of what I'm known for doing, because
Right.
a lot of books that I've written were in danger of being canceled before I started writing them, or was asked to write them. Deadpool is an example, Birds of Prey, and just various things. And then also characters that, like Big Barda and Bane and things that had kind of fallen out of favor, bring them back into the comics and kind of revamp them a little and get people's interest. So I love doing that kind of thing. I did that with Catman as well in Secret Six.
Yes.
And as far as something, I don't know. There's just so many characters that I think could work in modern times that they haven't yet. I'm trying to think off the top. I'm drawing a blank.
I know it's been a long day.
Yeah,
but you hit the big one for me, which is Big Bart. I'm a huge New Gods fan.
Yeah.
So from Jack Kirby, Fourth World, I've got a lot of that run, and I always thought that Big Bart as a character was never developed more than muscle, and depending on the costume she wore, either she wore the bikini one or she had the full armor one. And I think that she could go a lot further with her backstory, which they don't really talk too much about. It's very snippets here and there.
That's true. I agree with that completely.
So the last question for you is, going forward, is there any person that maybe on your horizon, what's on your fantasy list that would you like to write?
I would like to write a Spider-Man run, not like forever, but
Right.
I feel like I have a Spider-Man story that I'd like to tell sometime.
Interesting.
So that's the first one that comes to the top of my mind of something that I have not done yet.
Wow. Well, thank you so much for that insight. Wish you a great day. Welcome to Canada.
Thank you. I always love coming to Canada. The Canadian fans are the best.
Have yourself a great afternoon.
Thank you.
Once again, everybody, this is Gail Simone. This is Barry from the iConis podcast. Remember, the whole world was created by pencil, a piece of paper, and lots of imagination. Keep on dreaming. Take care.